Hey everybody, hope you're having a good week so far. I got a quick one for you. My buddy Shay is right here by my side off my left arm, but he's too far below the camera. You probably know, I'm sure most of you know Kim Carey at Intuitive View is a friend of mine. We don't really get to talk that often or anything. Mostly we just correspond by email like every once in a while, every couple months. But Kim was gracious enough to do me a favor with a prayer request recently. Um, and um, and I wanted to send her a thank you note to tell her how much I appreciated it, and also the person who received it appreciated it. So you may have even seen that on her community page regarding a new friend I've made in Ukraine, actually, a Ukrainian soldier whose name is Nina, who somehow found my music online, and we have been corresponding a bit. And since she is near Mariupol in the armed forces, I wanted to see if I could get our community to say some prayers for her safety and that of her mom too, who lives near Kiev. I hope I'm saying it right, Kiev, in Kiev. So if you'd like to add any prayers to the ones that have already been sent Nina's way and to her mom in Ukraine for their safety and for the war to come to a quick end, that would be really highly appreciated. But what I wanted to share is an offshoot of that. So I wrote Kim a note, a brief note, and here's I'm going to read it to you right from my email on my phone. Here's what I said in the second paragraph of the email that I sent to her. I said, and I don't think she would mind me sharing, though I probably should ask first, but it's nothing bad. Okay, so here we go. So I wrote to Kim, hey, I just remembered when I was watching your show tonight, because Kim had her ladies' night with Andrea and Debbie last evening. I just remembered when I was watching your show tonight that we had a conversation in my dreams last night. So last night, yeah, Kim popped up. We were discussing new teaching methods for kids, and I asked if you felt the new techniques actually had a positive effect on a mass scale when employed, because some of you may know that Kim used to be a preschool teacher. So again, I wrote we were discussing new teaching methods, and I was asking Kim about them in the dream. And I said that it was basically like we met up astrally to have a natural conversation you would have with any friend sitting at a table. It was with any friend sitting at a table. It felt less like a dream for that reason, and it was really cool. And then I asked her, I said, you don't happen to remember this from your dreams last night, do you? So, just on the off chance that, she might. And here's what she wrote back today. She wrote back a few other things, and then regarding the dream. That's really weird, Rob. I am working on an oracle deck called My First Oracle Deck, and it is aimed at kids. But it has things to do to work on different chakras, so really anyone can use it, but mainly kids and people just beginning their spiritual journey. Isn't that weird and funny? And so then I was gobsmacked. I mean, that's amazing. We were in my dream, which was very brief. It was a split second brief in my memory, talking about teaching methods for kids. And I thought, why would that come in? And then here Kim is working on an oracle deck that is partly aimed at kids. So that's pretty good, right? So and then I wrote back, wow, that feels like a bullseye to me, not random. And then I wrote, you must have told me about it out there, meaning in the astral plane, while sleeping, but you forgot when you woke up. Haha, but I didn't. And that's great about the deck. Good luck with it. And she wrote back just a short while ago, that has to be it, lol. So I've never tried to do a dream meetup before, and I wasn't trying in this case, but apparently it seems that I had a little quickie kitchen table conversation with Kim about her projects, which is so weird and funny to think about that, like, we're out there while we're sleeping, but we're having another social life. And and learning more about the world even while we're not awake. So the ramifications of that are kind of deep if you really think about it, especially since I wasn't trying. I know that I am strong in my dreaming. I mean, the psychic that I saw several years ago said that that's your thing. You are strong in the dream world. So I'll have to think about what else that could mean and how far I could take it if I wanted to. I mean, I've gone pretty far. I'm pretty sure I've been on the other side of the universe in my dreams. And it feels like it's far away when I come back. Like I wake up almost like I'm like jet lagged from touring the universe. But it that also reminds me that I really need to look into a woman named Evangeline Adams who was in Kim's video last night that she did with Andrea and Debbie. They read on famous women from history. I didn't know anything about Evangeline Adams, but she was a psychic from the mid late 1800s to the early 1900s. I think she died around shortly after the Great Depression, early 30s. And something about that Andrea said about her feeling like she really belonged like out in the stars, like she was big into astrology, that she really felt that she was of the stars, and not just the way we talk about maybe people being from other perhaps planets, that they may have had lives on other planets, but that she was really of the stars. And there was a kind of dreaminess to it that really spoke to me and made me want to look further into Evangeline Adams. So I have, even last night, I downloaded one of her books for Kindle and read a few different things that were really, really interesting and resonated with me, and then some things in them that didn't, which is kind of always the case. You take what speaks to you from anyone who is a psychic, and you leave what doesn't speak to you, and that's just fine, including anything I might say to you that you don't agree with or that you do agree with and you're drawn to. So the other part that was really interesting, do I want to get into it? There was a passage in the Evangeline Adams book about horses and something about like like a horse whose mane is like thunder. I have to reread the passage. I'll come back with this at another time. But what was interesting about that is that my mom once got into this with a I believe a Native American psychic asking about spirit names for herself and her children, meaning myself and my brother, and for whatever reason, the name that came to mind with this woman regarding me was Thunder, because I'm not the lightning strike, but I'm the warning, and that doesn't feel too far off from my personality sometimes. I can be maybe a little bit too judgmental of myself and others, and when I perceive an injustice, I'm not shy about it, as I'm sure you know. So, I have mixed feelings about my mom sort of dabbling, if you will, in any kind of Native American traditions, because that's not our traditions. But that aside, if one of my spirit nicknames is Thunder, it was interesting to come across it in this Evangeline Adams book, and especially referring to like a horse that like strides with a kind of thunder, like a spiritual thunder, because I feel such an affinity to animals. And as I may have mentioned in a previous video, I am in my next couple books. There are chapters about communications with animals, and including some conversations that I believe I've had with horses, among other animals. And I sincerely believe that if you speak to any animal, that your intent is felt, regardless of the words that are spoken. And it certainly seemed to be the case when I saw some horses at the county fair a couple years ago, and I asked two different horses if they were well, or maybe I said, "Are you well?" And then each of them clomped their left foot as soon as I asked the question. And I was with yet another friend who was psychic, my friend Marla, and I turned to her and I was like, "Did you just see that? And is that a yes? Like I think it is a yes." And she said, "Mm-hmm." And it was pretty convincing in the moment. So for all of that to be tied to this Evangeline Adams book, and then for Kim to have been talking about Evangeline Adams in her video yesterday, and then for me to be wondering about Evangeline Adams and whether I'm a bit of a star dreamer like her, and then to have a dream last night where I'm just talking to Kim basically at a living room, at a dining room table is pretty neat, I think. So I hope you find that interesting too. Your feedback is always welcome, and I'm gonna go because I gotta run. I got so much going on right now, but I wanted to share that because I thought it was really cool. Okay, take care. Bye bye.